So, what is prompt engineering? It is crafting effective inputs, aka prompts, to guide generative AI models to produce the most useful and relevant output for you. It's basically learning how to communicate with AI so that AI understand what you're looking for and you're receiving what you were looking for in the first place. And this is where, when you had interaction with tools like ChatGPT and had some disappointing results, um, you most likely did not have the knowledge of prompt engineering that needed to be applied in order to get the results you're looking for. See, AI is not some kind of magical, all-knowing brain that is, spitting out factual information and communicating like actual human beings. It is essentially some engine that is generating text, like literally typing out the text in a way that makes sense because it's trained on all the writings that were trained on, that is written by human, right? It is written by human, he understands it, and then it can write something that sounds very similar to it. So again, it's not some kind of magical brain. It is an engine that produces text. So if you don't understand the difference, and if you don't understand how to apply prompt engineering, then you're just going to get some random something that sounds plausible, but may not be factually correct, may not be in the response format that you're looking for. So why is prompt engineering important? Essentially, it comes down to three things. First, you want to get more accurate results. By prompting it correctly, you're going to get much, much more accurate answers that you're looking for. And it's not just factually accurate, it is also accurate in the way you want AI to respond. Maybe you're writing a blog post and you want it to be accurate to the context of my blog series. So let's say I have a blog series that I already wrote, let's say 20 articles in the past. For ChatGPT or generative AI tools to write in an accurate way, it needs to be trained on the 20 examples that I wrote. Or I need to clearly explain, here's a format of the blog post I want you to follow and write. Here's a tone of the voice of the blog post I want you to write. And here's the structure of the blog post that I want you to follow. And more that you can provide with the prompt engineering, the better the results gets. And that would in turn essentially save time, because you don't have all the time in the world to be struggling with the AI, right? The point of using generative AI is so that you don't have to spend all the time doing manual labor work that you're hoping to cut down, or at least have a great kickstart. Maybe I'm trying to write a blog, but typically it would take me 2 days to write a piece that I feel good about. But instead, what if it can write 80% of the blog content out, so that I can just spend 20% of the time just reviewing and fixing and correcting to make it sound like me, to make it more factually correct. And then over time, the 20% of labor that I have to do might be even reduced down to 10%, because with the prompt engineering, it's not just one-off interaction that you get to have. You can leverage some of the techniques to refine your prompt, so that every time you learn something new about where the AI got it right or where AI got it wrong, you can provide those feedback and then build up your prompt in a way that it will get your intent, and it will get the first draft right the first time, so that you're just now spending 10% of the time. It saves a lot of time in the end, right? And lastly, it can help you unlock some creative potential. Most of the time, you are going to be asking for an exact input that I provide and then getting the exact output that I expect to receive. But sometimes you can combine multiple ideas. For example, maybe I'm trying to figure out what my next blog series is going to be about. Instead of me just sitting on the desk and trying to figure out what should I write and then aimlessly Google for some ideas, I can ask, hey, based on the things I've written in the past and based on the knowledge that you, the AI, have about me, what are some topics I should be writing about? And it can give you sometimes really good suggestions, at least like 1 out of 10 ideas the AI can suggest. I can find some gold mine where like, you know what? I never thought about it. I'm glad that you are suggesting something that is something I'm not thinking about. And then it can unlock my creativity into writing something that I never thought I would. And then also use prompt engineering to then save time, right? 90% of the time can be like instantly saved by asking, hey, that sounds a great idea. Hey, let's draft up a blog post that I can review. And then I just spend the 10% of time just reviewing that post. So it can unlock my creativity and also it can streamline going from my creative process into actually writing something out that I can just publish out. So hopefully I was able to do a good job explaining what is prompt engineering and why it's important. And as you go through the rest of the courses, you'll probably discover and have an aha moment of like, I see, it makes sense. That's why I didn't have a good results in the past, but I know how this works now that I can control the quality of the output. And now I can see myself using generative AI in my work, especially in professional work where saving time matters so much, so that you can focus on the creative part that you want to be focusing on and less on the manual labor parts that you particularly don't care about. So yeah, hopefully you're excited to go through the rest of the lessons.